So thank you for those of you that have managed to join. This is my first time doing this little mini intro, and I've got joint PPMA vice president staring at me at the moment. So no pressure on that front. I'll hopefully whip through a couple of housekeeping bits and then hand over to numerous colleagues actually to give us an update on a really interesting topic. So without further ado, my name's Clive. I am the OD manager at Somerset County Council. I've also very recently stuck my hand up to be part of the extended PPMA board and been roped in to doing a couple of these. So before introducing the session, I'd just like to run through the housekeeping. I'm going to sound a bit like a broken record because we're kind of teed up to say these things. So if you've joined one of these before, you'll know that if you can keep yourselves on mute throughout the session, it helps with feedback. The session is being recorded. You might well have spotted that, but only those people speaking will show up on the recording. Do use the chat functionality to put any questions to the panel of staff that we've got. We'll probably pick those up at the end rather than taking them throughout the session. So let's get on to it then, noting we're already slightly behind time. So I'm absolutely delighted. This is the first of this sort of mini series almost of webinars, PPMA webinars, highlighting the recent award or PPMA award winners. The first of which that we're having today is the winners of the Best Partnership and Collaboration Award and overall Gold Award. Salford City Council. Absolutely fantastic. I won't steal too much thunder, but I will just say that the judges' comments on the award, I don't know if Samantha and co had teed them up a little bit here, because this sounds all too good. But Salford, and I will just read this out, so bear with me, that Salford was a standout entry. It combined a genuinely innovative collaboration, demonstrably benefiting local residents and communities, measurably saving money, using resources with greater impact, etc., etc., etc. So many superlatives, which is why I'm sure you're really keen to hear from everybody. So without further ado, let's do that. I'm initially going to pass you over to Samantha. I think we've then also got Vicky, Danielle, and Rafi also due to speak. So Samantha, over to you.
I feel like I'm in trouble, Clive. It's Sam. So hello, everybody. I'm Sam Betts. I'm the Assistant Director for HR and OD here at Salford City Council. And as Clive's already mentioned, they're also one of the Vice Presidents of the PPMA. Absolutely delighted to be here this morning to introduce this session. I'll give a brief overview of the piece of work that won the award, and then I will hand over to my colleagues who actually made it happen and are benefiting from what it is that we put in place as well. So I'm sure that you're more interested in hearing from them than from me. So just taking you back really to where the idea, where the initiative came from. So with the introduction of the apprenticeship levy here in Salford, we were really keen to capitalise in all the opportunities that the levy brought, to properly invest in workforce development, to support the development, skills and knowledge needed to deliver our citywide ambitions really, and not just for within the City Council, thinking wider about the workforce in its entirety across the city. So, you know, we're always keen to highlight that high quality skills and professional development delivered through apprenticeships could for the first time really create opportunities for people of all ages to undertake accredited training and qualifications, raising skills, capabilities and aspirations right the way across the city. But again, we were really strongly wedded to, but that was wider than just the council's workforce. And as part of our apprenticeship strategy here in Salford, we were really keen to ensure we were connected with our skills and work and inclusive economy ambitions. And that's where we saw the opportunity through the ability to gift levy funds in terms of being able to gift up to 25% of your levy funds to an unlimited number of employers. What a great opportunity that could be for us. And that's where we came up with the idea for the Salford Skills for Business Fund, which is what we're going to talk to you about today. I won't tell a lie, some of the driver was also that actually it was there was no way we were going to be paying any of our levy back. So absolutely we needed to think creatively as if we in the city, in the council hadn't used it, what could we do to support others really across the city to enable them to create good quality apprenticeships as well. So the idea that we came up with was for large levy payers to gift some of their fund to invest in training through apprenticeships with Salford small, medium enterprises, so up to about 250 employees within their organisations. The idea being that we create more sustainable and quality apprenticeship opportunities across the city, and as a result, more good employment opportunities for our residents, whilst also supporting SMEs really. Key drivers were to create decent quality apprenticeships across a range of different sectors, developing the skills of our residents to ensure that they're best placed to capitalise on the employment opportunities really that were here right on their doorstep in the city. And we started with a small number of anchor institutions, so Salford College, ourselves, Bupa is hosted in Salford. And we talked about how we could gift, how we could pool what we could gift to create this fund for small, medium enterprises to bid for, to create apprenticeship opportunities across the city. And then we're really lucky in Salford to have something called the City Leaders Network, which is hosted by our city mayor. So once we'd come up with the germ of the idea, we'd got a couple of big players on board with us. We launched it really to that wider City Leaders Network, to invite others to join as well. So I won't say any more about the fund and how we brought all of those partners together, but I'm going to hand over to Vicky Lucas, who's our fabulous apprenticeship pathway lead and has been absolutely integral really in getting all of this off the ground and making it the success that it is. She'll take you through how we set it up, some of the logistics, some of the challenges, and some of our successes, and also introduce you to Danielle and Rafi as well, who are on the call with us today, who've benefited from the fund. So thank you, Vicky.
Thank you, Sam. Are you yep, got the presentation, great. So as Sam has kind of already said, basically it is the scheme is to utilise apprenticeship levy transfer function. So Salford City Council and 12 partners created the Salford Skills for Business Apprenticeship Fund. It just rolls right off the tongue. It's a fund that invests in apprenticeship training to help create job opportunities for Salford residents and helps existing employees close skills gaps in key sectors. Why did we do it? Well, it was always our ambition to ensure that we maximise the benefits of our apprenticeship levy so that we were able to achieve our ambition of a better and fairer Salford. And this can only be realised if we continue to invest in skills and attract, develop and retain talent in the city. Some of the key features of the fund was it was specifically for SMEs based in Salford. There was a focus on the quality of the opportunity rather than a specific level or subject sector area. So we didn't say only for level 2 to level 5 or anything like that. So we funded, we funded some senior leaders, right up to level 7. We funded some people at level 2. We funded the full spectrum. And we didn't say we'll only do certain apprenticeships or whatever. Really, the focus was on the quality of the opportunity rather than the specific level or subject sector area. We gave a full wraparound support. So it wasn't just a means of a person who wanted to gift find a person who wanted to receive. We gave a full wraparound support through the levy gifting and receiving process for recipients of the fund and also for gifting partners. It was a public, private and third sector collaboration. So some of our key successes with the fund was, since it's launched, we've supported 29 separate organisations and 58 separate individuals. Our total investment across all partners has been almost £500,000, which is absolutely fantastic. And we have succeeded in matching some Salford residents that face particular challenges to apprenticeship opportunities. So we have really supported some of our most vulnerable residents into these apprenticeship opportunities, which again is kind of absolutely what the fund is all about. It linked really well with other key council initiatives and priorities, like things like being a living wage city. And with it linking really well, it has turned out to be a very sustainable project. In terms of learning of the project, actually our partners, they were really generous and keen to support. Whilst we did launch it and we did quite a lot of promotional activity to get it out there, we didn't really need to sell the idea. A lot of partners approached us, actively wanted to get on board. And to be honest, I think social value initiatives are of great interest in many, many businesses. Also, councils are trusted organisations. Salford City Council and Salford City College and Salford City Council, we set up and we managed the overall administration and due diligence of the fund. And this gave a lot of assurance to partners that it was being managed in a transparent and auditable way, which ensured fairness and transparency. And it removed some of the perceived administrative burden associated with a scheme like this. At any promotional event we did, such as the launch and the year-on event, and also this activity as well, the apprentices themselves were the real star speakers and a definite highlight of any event. Some apprentices' stories were really quite emotional, and it gave all partners and prospective partners a feeling that they could make a real difference to someone. So that's been a real learning, and I think definitely any kind of promotional activity I do around apprenticeships, I really try and ensure that it does have that personal message from apprentices themselves, because I think that at the end of the day is really the most powerful thing to people. So on that note, we've got a video from one of our partners of the fund, which is Alan Milne from Salford City College. So if you wouldn't mind playing the video, please.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Alan Milne and I'm Director of Apprenticeships and Employer Engagement at Salford City College. We as an organisation have been absolutely thrilled to be part of and continue to be part of the Salford Skills for Business Apprenticeship Fund. As an organisation, we have been involved in three main ways. Firstly, as a kind of founding member and partner, it was an absolute honour to work with colleagues from Salford City Council to develop the idea and develop the partnership and get the partnership moving to a point where it really has made a positive impact. I remember fondly back to the launch of the partnership down in Major City, where the Mayor, Paul Dennett, hosted a group of select businesses to come together to really make a difference using apprenticeship levy funds collectively to support local business and local people. And it really was an honour to be at that event, and the plaque signed by all founding partners still sits proudly in my office. I guess the second key way in which we have been a partner is as one of the gifting partners. As any large organisation does, we have a large apprenticeship levy fund, and it's been a great privilege to use some of that fund to gift through the Salford Skills for Business Apprenticeship Fund to local business, ensuring that local people across Salford have really benefited from our apprenticeship levy and really allowed their skills to develop and flourish, having a real impact on their business, particularly in key sectors that we're really passionate about as a college, such as, I guess, adult care, education, construction, etc. It's been a real honour to support business and people through the gifting of our apprenticeship levy. And I guess finally, the third way that we've been part of this partnership is as one of the preferred delivery partners. So as a large apprenticeship provider with over 1,700 apprentices on programme in the last academic year, it's been a real great honour to support a lot of the apprentices who've come through this programme in this partnership. Again, particularly in some of the key economic areas of Salford, where it's been really important that we've helped local businesses develop local talent within their organisations. And I know that this partnership has really supported a number of fantastic organisations to develop talent. I'm certain that the fund has had a major impact on local business. As I've alluded to, it's been really important that we support the key economic sectors with talent development, with apprenticeship growth. And I know that we've made a real difference as a partnership, and we'll continue to do that. It's been a real privilege as an organisation to be part of the fund, and I look forward to it continuing moving forward.
You can stop sharing now, Grace. So we're going to hear from one of the employers who applied for one of our funding, which is Danielle Brown. She's from Infor Group. Over to you, Danielle.
Thanks, Vicky. Yeah, hi everyone, and thanks very much for inviting me to speak on this webinar today. I was really pleased to come along and speak about our experience with the Salford Apprenticeship Fund, because we had a really positive experience and really happy to share that with other employers. So just a little bit about the Infor Group. We're a digital technology training company based over in Media City at the home of skills and technology. And we do a lot of work with Salford City Council, which is how I became aware of the apprenticeship fund. Now, we are an SME, so we don't pay the apprenticeship levy, but we really wanted to take an apprentice into our business, so thought we would apply to the fund to access some of that levy gifting available so that we can hire a highly skilled individual and work on upskilling that person. As we're based in Salford, we wanted that to be a Salford resident because we're really big on investing back into the community. So I filled the application form out online, which was a really simple process. And I was very pleased to have the support of Karen. Karen was a fantastic help and support to me throughout that process as an employer who's going through that for the first time. The apprenticeship portal can look a little bit scary if you don't know your way around it or where to click, but Karen was a godsend for me. She really helped me with the application form and pulling out some of the key things about why we wanted to access this funding and the benefit to our business and to the local community. And also with getting set up on the portal and just understanding how cohorts work, how the kickback payments work. Karen was a fantastic help, and that guidance has helped me to onboard further apprentices onto the portal. So it's knowledge that we took back into the business and really used to make sure that we're continually learning and continually supporting residents. The process itself from start to finish was really simple. And as a result of that, we got to hire a fantastic apprentice into our business on a level 4 cybersecurity technology apprenticeship. For us, this was our first apprentice and also a new area of our business that we were really looking to develop. So we were very much hiring someone who was going to grow with the business and was going to progress as that journey moved on. So I'm going to hand over shortly to Rafi, who is our apprentice, who's been with us now for over a year, and he's very shortly going to be coming to the end of his apprenticeship journey. So Rafi, do you just want to say a few words about your experience throughout the process?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Danielle. So as Danielle said, I am, doing an apprenticeship under Infor Group. I'm not going to re-explain what Infor Group is. So the whole point of doing the apprenticeship, from my point of view, was the ability to learn and develop as I was working. So I'd never really had that much experience in the field of cyber and software and technology and all that kind of stuff. So it was really a good opportunity for me to be able to develop my skills and kind of skill up as I was, earning and making a living. So that was a big attraction to me. And I feel like for a lot of people, that's also something that can kind of resonate with them. But going forward now, as Danielle said, I'm coming towards the end of my apprenticeship. I think it finishes in December now. So the bulk of the work in terms of apprenticeship stuff is essentially building a portfolio throughout your time as an apprentice. So you need to kind of figure out what kind of work you need to do that relates to the apprenticeship on top of the work that you're already doing. But as long as it's relevant to the course, then it's not really that much of an issue. It's quite easy and straightforward to do. So yeah, going forward, it's just finishing that off, and then you have a couple of exams at the end of it. Tick those off. Tend to be quite straightforward if you've done the work and put in the effort. And then after that is, you have pretty much, as long as you've done okay, you have a career out of it by the end of 18 months or 24 months, or however long the apprenticeship is. So again, the main draw for me, and for I think last Danielle said as well, is being able to take someone kind of fresh but then like skill them up and like mold them to kind of what you need them to be. So yeah, that's my experience. I think this is, it's a great opportunity for a lot of people in the same kind of boat.
Yeah, thanks, Rafi. So yeah, like Rafi mentioned there, he's really upskilled on the job. Rafi actually works within our on-site security operations centre here at Horse Salford, which is a state-of-the-art facility, one of the very few on-site SOCs in Greater Manchester. And when he comes out of his apprenticeship programme, he'll be moving into a more highly skilled role within the SOC. So Rafi himself has become a very highly skilled individual now, and he's key to the running of our business. He does so much more above and beyond his apprenticeship. We'll often see him buzzing around the office in all the different departments. He's become a real key player. But following taking Rafi on, we've taken other apprentices through other levy gifting schemes. And to be completely honest, the journey with other levy gifters hasn't been as smooth as it was with Salford City Council, and the support that we received from the council was really just invaluable in helping me as the operations director to upskill and to understand how that process works. So for any employers that are thinking about it, I would highly recommend that you access the fund. We're really happy to help and support if there's any of our learnings that we can give. And obviously the team there with Vicky and Karen, they are fantastic at supporting you through that journey. So that's just a little bit from us, and hopefully that's been helpful, but we will stick around until the end if anyone's got any questions for us. Thanks, Vicky.
You're on mute at the moment, Vicky.
Yeah, thanks very much, Danielle and Rafi. I think we're ready for questions, if anybody's got any questions.
So hopefully that gave everybody an overview of the scheme, where it came from in terms of an idea and how it was developed, but more importantly, seeing how businesses themselves and actually individuals like Rafi have benefited from it. So yeah, happy to take any questions, Clive.
Fantastic. Reminder to everybody, do type your messages in the chat, but now we've come to the end. Equally, if you wanted to come off mute and just jump in, please please do. I'll kick off with one if I can, selfishly, as I've got the microphone turned on. Vicky, you alluded to, and I didn't type I should have written the term down, but the administrative burden at some point. Can you just describe, I guess, somehow try and describe the effort versus the reward? Clearly the reward is huge. To be able to support that many people, make that much difference to business, absolutely fantastic. Can you perhaps, if others are trying to replicate, or hopefully later down the line can replicate, is there any chance you could just explain that kind of the upfront effort, the administration effort behind the scenes?
Yeah, well, I think what I was kind of referring to was that at the time when the levy transfer was quite new, a lot of employees were quite scared of it. So obviously there is a large financial aspect involved to it, and that can be a bit kind of scary for employees, really. So I think because we are an established employer and we have an established apprenticeship program, yeah, and we had this thing sort of established and we offered that kind of wraparound support, I think it was quite easy to go, oh, well, we can, we could kind of join that as an employer. And so we won't have to go through all our own, develop all our own due diligence paperwork, we won't have to, wouldn't be the same level of risk. So I suppose what I was meaning was it saved other employers doing it all from scratch. I mean, in terms of the administrative aspect from our perspective was that, well, I mean, we had to obviously come up with the idea. I mean, from my own personal gain, I actually mentioned apprenticeship transfers during my interview with the council. So that was obviously really exciting for me that did actually come off. But obviously we had to come up with the idea. We had to look at all the funding rules, and we had to examine all the risks associated with it. It had to go to board to be approved. Once it got approved, obviously we invited all the key players together to develop how do we want people to apply, what was the criteria around people applying, what sort of paperwork did we want to have in place. So I think, because all that was done and the parameters of the fund were set and all the paperwork was in place, it kind of removed that burden for other partners wanting to get on board.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Vicky. Really thorough. We've got another question posed by Emma in the chat. You might have spotted it. It's probably another one perhaps to come your way, Vicky. So initially saying, great story, thank you. Was there a particular reason as to why you didn't necessarily focus on a particular type of qualification or sector? You obviously alluded to opening up to all sorts of different organisations and all sorts of qualifications. Was there a reason behind that?
Vicky, did I
well, the
start and then
reason was,
hand over? In terms of that, in terms of particular sector, I'll pick up and then I'll hand over to Vicky as well. Is one of the key things is we've been really lucky in Salford to attract a lot of inward investment in the city. It's a big growth city, lots of things around creative, technology, construction, social care. So there were lots of small, medium enterprises who could really benefit from this, who themselves haven't got that facility or capability to invest and grow in terms of their own workforce. So we were really keen that we didn't want to exclude sectors. We wanted it to be as inclusive as possible. And actually, if we focused on just one area like social care, for example, we did know that we'd got such a big growth area in terms of digital and creative, and really keen to try and connect some of our local residents with those opportunities that really they may have been excluded from before. So it was a conscious decision to keep it as wide and as inclusive as possible. Sorry, Vicky, I didn't mean to cut across you.
oh no, it's fine. Well, I mean, really our focus was on the quality of the opportunity rather than where it sat. And I think, that has been quite a nice thing. For example, we supported a level 7 senior leader in a Salford charity. So imagine what difference with the right training that individual could make and the sort of social benefits that could have in Salford. So I think, but really we were interested in the quality of the opportunity. That was really our focus.
That's excellent. Again, thank you both for that. And for my take on it, a non-Salford take on it here, if you've got the amount of funds there to support as many people as possible, as many sectors as possible, then why let the Treasury get their grubby mitts on that on those funds when it can be used so successfully to benefit of the local area and local people? Why not?
I stopped short of saying that in my introduction, Clive. Well said.
I often say that when talking about the apprenticeship levy. I'm really passionate about this. I'm so pleased to I inadvertently kind of join this by hosting it. I'm gonna not. I don't want to steal any of Salford's thunder, but I was so pleased that Somerset County Council was one of the 3 organisations that was listed, one of the 3 council organisations listed on the apprenticeship kind of top 100 employers list. What we do isn't certainly in levy transfer area isn't as sophisticated as kind of as this. So yeah, plea to all colleagues on the call, please do sign up to those. It'd be great to see more local authorities on that list this time next year. Noting the time, we've a minute or two over at the moment, but that's absolutely fine. If we've got any other questions, please do kind of raise your hand or shout them out now. If not, I will initially revert to my notes again because I'm bound to forget something here. So thank you to Sam rather than Samantha. I'm not telling you off now. To Sam, Vicky, Danielle, and Rafi. What a way to start! What an absolute pleasure to join this one. A way to start this lovely little mini series that we've got here from the PPMA award winners. So thank you all for joining the call as well. Remember, this is recorded, so if you've heard something here and you think a colleague who couldn't join would benefit from hearing about it, then please do encourage them to watch and forward on. I think the last thing I've got to mention is we've got the next one of these is this Wednesday. So please, if your diary allows, then have a look at that. I'm sure you'll be sent the registration details, etc. So the focus for that one is another award winners webinar, and it's the service superstars for the team, which is Tameside Met. So please do try and sign up to that. And if you can't, if your diary doesn't allow, please do share with your networks on social media, etc. It would be great to have as many colleagues on that as possible. So thank you again, everybody. I hope to, albeit virtually, bump into you at another one of these in due course. Thank you very much, Salford.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.